Hey guys and girls, welcome to my channel and welcome to Lumber Tycoon 2. I'm basically going to do a new 1-unit chop saw, but it's not going to be totally automated. And I built it, I haven't really tested it, but I want to take a quick run over the swamp, get some more goldwood because I'm going to need it to finish building this project over here. Can we see it? You see it down here, actually, even though it doesn't look like goldwood. But I'm working on building the museum, like I probably mentioned in a video before. I need a little bit more wood, and I got tired of taking the wood from here, bringing it all the way down to ground level where my current 1-unit chop saw is, and then bringing it back up 2 stories. So I decided to build a 1-unit chop saw right on the level that I'm working. And I built it just now, finished it up, and what I want to do is I just want to grab a few pieces of tree, nothing special, just something to test with. And this one will work fine. So like I said, just grabbing a few pieces of a tree and give it a test, see how it works. Now there's limitations to this chop saw, and there's also some benefits to it, and I'll get into the details about that in a minute. But basically the bottom line here is, if you guys have a 1-unit chop saw out there that's totally automated, you'd probably know that when you run a piece of wood through it, if there's a lot of lag in the base, it cuts it horribly. So because this is manual, I'm able to cut the wood accurately whether there's lag or not. That's the bonus. So you don't get these pieces that are 97% or 98% or something stupid like that. So that's the bonus that you pretty much get 1 unit every single time. Sometimes you'll get a 99%er, but for the most part it's accurate. The drawback is like I said, it's not totally automated. There's manual functions built into it. You have to physically move the wood. You have to physically cut the wood. And actually, and honestly, now that I think about it, I didn't quite finish it. I didn't hook up the electric and the switch and stuff like that. So I'll finish that up while we're doing this video. And the way I have this built... Come on, I don't want to be bouncing off the bridge. Alright, well, we made it. And let's get down here. See, now normally I would have to go all the way down to ground level to this chop saw, chop it up, and then bring it back up to this level. So I've gone down 1 level already. I'd have to go down a 2nd level. A 2nd level, which is this level. A 3rd level, which is this level. And then the ground floor is a 4th level. Push it through all of this. Load it up into a truck and bring it back up 1-2 floors. I decided that was a big waste of time bringing it all the way down there. So rather than that, I just bring it down 2 floors and do the work right down here where I'm working. So what I did is I set up this contraption. Let's see how this is going to work. I know one of the problems that whoa, get over here. One of the problems I'm going to have here is I can't do a long length because I got a short piece here and then a quick turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and we're going to take it and we're going to make it small pieces. Also, you don't want to work with this with big pieces anyway because big pieces, long pieces are hard to get lined up right. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. But we'll take a few pieces of this. Let's see if this is small enough to plank out okay. Still be reasonably long but not too super short. Oh, that's like perfect. Alright, so we'll cut a couple of more of them. And we'll cut this piece in half. This is the drawback to this particular construction. Alright, so there we go. Of course, I'm trying to make the video when my kid wants something to eat and the iPad dies and, you know, it never fails. So what I did up here is I built a little area where while you're planking out the wood, you can just move it off to the side just for temporary storage. There's a reason I don't have the conveyors coming all the way up here, and that reason probably just is I didn't feel like doing it. But now we got the pieces. Let's get this little one out of here. The structure here is, just so you're thinking about it, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 large floors to make the platform. These are two wall pieces. Let me show you. Oh, that's another thing. If you're stuck like this, if you ever bring up your blueprints and you can't do what you want, if you hit O for out, you zoom out, and then you can move the mouse separately. I zooms you back in, I for in, O for out. Easy way to remember it. But, okay, anyway, so that's this thin, smooth wall. That's what those are. Right here. And this is a short, smooth wall, another short, smooth wall, and obviously a chop saw. And the way I have it set up is I have it set up so you can, it's 3 units wide, and this opening is 1 unit. So the manual part here is taking these pieces and getting them lined up in there. Come on. And this is why I said before, don't get super long pieces. Because, I mean, you could rebuild the track so it can handle really long pieces. But getting this stuff lined in with pieces that are, I say maybe you can get them a little bit longer than that piece. Maybe 1.5 times the length of that piece. After that, it's just too long to handle easily. Whoops, I fell. I was overwhelmed by gravity. It's one of my favorite sayings. I've been saying that for a long time. You don't fall, you got overwhelmed by gravity. There we go. So now we got these in here. And what I'm going to do is, since I'm standing right about here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a short, smooth wall here. I'll put it right here. And that'll be good for that. Let's see, what can we color this in with? We got anything up here besides the yellow wood? I don't want to take the stuff out of here. Although I did take that piece. Shh, don't tell anybody. I don't have anything but yellow wood here. Let me go find a piece of wood. Let's... Perfect. Piece of cherry wood.
Stop singing.
I don't know if you can hear my son, but I'm humming as you heard, and my son is like, "Stop singing, it's annoying." Kind of funny, but...
And that is not why I make a video.
Silly kid. And that was my son Matthew, my 5-year-old, if you're wondering. And we'll take a piece of this. I think if we chop this dead smack in half, I can get 2 pieces out of it. Yeah. Whoops. Let's fill that in. Alright, so what I did here is, a lot of people tend to put the switches, the chop saws on a switch. I'm putting it on a button. And the reason being is I don't have to worry about coming back to it and turning it off. And I'm going to put it this way here. Backwards. Durr. Turn, turn. Rotate, rotate. There we go. So now we got that in place. Let's go get the wire. Where's the wire? There's where it is. No. Sorry, my son's trying to attack me again. So we're going to put the wire here. And we're just going to run it right to there. And finish. So now one hit of the button will be one rotation of the saw. Now, worst case scenario, you just have to hit the button a couple of times. Up. The whole part of why I have it all raised. First, let's get this ball back over here. Don't worry, my number 8 ball is saved in a safe place. It's not up here anymore. Yes, I have a number 8 ball. I never seen a single digit of ball before in my life. And I got one. There we go. That was the whole reason for elevating it. So I could cut it and drive it over here so I don't have to keep walking back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Getting dizzy yet? Back and forth? No, just kidding. So, let's see. We got these pieces in here. We got them in place. We hit the button. Saw goes down.
It looks like it's chopping the wall.
Okay, we got a slight error here. Or do we? Let's try this one more time. Hit the button again. Yeah, I'm only cutting 2. Okay, so that means I have to make a slight adjustment here. Let's pull these pieces out. This thing can cut 3 at a time. I know, I've done it before. I had to set up on the floor, but I moved it to elevated for the reason of the video and the truck. And so let's move, turn, rotate, and we're going to put it here. So now we're going to grab this, move, turn, rotate, turn. I'm messing with that piece of wood. There we go. So instead of here, it's going to go here. And the piece I'm standing on is going to move over 1. Move. There we go. That should fix the problem. I just had it out of alignment by 1 unit. So let's put this back in here. So that means this front edge of the saw is 2 units from where it cuts. So keep that in mind when you build this, if you build this. I'll put that one there. And obviously, as you can see, I can cut 3 at a time. But if you cut 2 or 1, which you can do here, you can either adjust your edges or you just get it in here and just be sure it's nice and square. If it's at an angle, it's not going to cut exactly a unit. You're going to end up getting pieces 97, 98, 99%. And let's see, E, hit the button. No. E, hit the button. There we go. There we go. Now it's cutting all three. Push them forward. Be sure they got forward all the way. So this is what I was saying. This is the manual part of the process. You got to keep nudging these things forward. But like I said, you can cut 3 at a time. You could try to do 4 if you want, but the one time I tried to do 4, it wouldn't reach that last piece. So, I mean, it. Come on, move. Thank you. Okay, be sure everything's in nice and snug. And then button. And like I said, if it doesn't cut completely on the first try, just do it again. This case, it didn't drop the pieces down. That's because the truck's getting full. There we go. There we go. Let's move some of this around. I mean, if you start getting really good at this, I guess you can put this thing on a delay and a timer and have it just go like every 10 seconds to cut. That's if you're good with the electric and the wiring. Might be something to consider. It'll help automate it a little bit more, and it'll get the there we go. This is probably good. This is probably going to be a good piece. So now I'm down to 2. So like I said, be sure you get these in and nice and square and all the way back. Otherwise, they will not cut at 100% piece.
But the middle one is still long.
I know the middle one is still long. I'll cut it down. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm talking to my son, guys. I don't know if you can hear him in the background. And we'll cut it one more time. Alright, guys, so you get the idea. Stop. You guys get the idea. See, now we're getting full in the truck again. My kids want to say goodbye. And we'll finish cutting these up. I'll finish mine. Stop it, Matthew. Mike.
My foot was tangled.
I know your foot was tangled.
Don't.
Stop. Stop. All right, guys. The end is getting a little chaotic here with the kids, so I apologize for that. We're going to keep working on these. I'll keep cutting these down. This one's a little too small because it's going to want to fall through the hole, I think. No, that one's work. That'll work. We'll cut these up a little bit more. I got a few more pieces in the truck to plank and not to cut up, so. And anyway, guys, that's my 1-unit chop saw. So it's 5 floor tiles elevated by these 1, 2, 3, 4 tilted, right? 4 tilted, which brings it high enough so that the truck can get underneath it. You saw me wire up the saw. The saw is at a point where it will come down exactly on this edge. And if I can move over just a hair, you'll see what I mean. This comes down right here, right on this edge to make the cut. And let's clear this out. And I got this piece back here as a stopper. Yeah, sometimes it clogs. Sometimes, most of the time, it doesn't. And it's pretty simple build. But, like I said, it's going to give you that 100% piece almost every time. And to prove it, I'm going to go over here and do these fillies in real quick. Just to finish off the rest of this wall. Boom. See what I mean? Every once in a while you get that 99%er. Of course, it happens to be the second one, so it makes me look bad now, right? But that's why you keep the scraps. That's why you keep these scraps. You grab a scrap, and you go over here and fill this in and finish it off. And I think that was one of my last cuts right there, too, so I may not have been perfectly square. Come on, you can do it. There it goes. It's funny how I have lag when I'm the only one on the server. Like I said, it's not dead on perfect, but it works. Let's go fill these other two in. If you want, one of the things you can do to make... Here's another one. One of the things you could do to make this a little bit more accurate, well, actually to make it more 100%, is instead of putting this here... Ooh, I'm going to show you. I'll show you here. This will make it more accurate. We're going to do 2. We're going to do a floor, a tile. We're going to put a tile here. Oh, wait. I don't want to fill the blueprint. Let me get these out of here. I just don't want to take the chance. Do tile. Stick the tile here. Doesn't matter where, just stick it somewhere. So it's just basically a placeholder until I find the other piece I had that I don't know what I... There it is. Well, let's get this turned right. There we go. And what you can do is put this up against the tile, and it'll make it a 1 unit plus 1 extra tile. And then we'll get rid of this last piece here. Get rid of the tile. Now what that does is nothing. Nice. Let's try that one more time. Let's try a large tile. Rotate. Interesting how they want to glitch together. Let me fill this real quick. Maybe it needs to be filtered for it to do what I want it to do. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to fill it to do this. Let's see. I think right there. Let's try there. Nope. See, look, it still goes through. It used to push it out one. I gotta think about this now. But that obviously didn't work, so. Ooh, you know what might work, though? I got an idea. Let's try... Let's try this. Of course, one of them doesn't want to go in right. Alright, let's fill these in. Boom. Boom. There we go. That pushes it out one extra tile in length. So that will absolutely prevent the 99% issue. I think I like it like that better. Of course, the piece of wood's fighting me, right? And we'll push it in. We'll do a test cut. And then we're going to wrap this video up. E. Alright, as you can see, this is definitely longer than the other pieces. And we'll grab this one just to do comparison in length. As you can see, just a little bit longer. That's going to prevent this 99% thing going on here. That'll absolutely get rid of that. And there you go. I built the chop saw, made modifications, did everything. Did a lot of the build beforehand, but perfected it, or at least modified it so it's better while you guys are watching. This extra tile length makes it work, makes it much better. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So like I said, this has to be 2 units from your cutting area, and I would go 2 units high because if you put bigger pieces in here, it's going to hit this shroud, the cover here, when it's down, and it's going to cause the wood to glitch out. So I would go 2 units high, 2 units over from your first cutting piece, which is going to be this corner right here. When you cut here, 1, 2 over, and 1, 2 up. That's where you put that. You put the saw so it hits this edge. You come down under here. You can see the saw blade is pretty much on the edge. Oh, come on. It's not perfect on the edge, but it's pretty close. Actually, if you get it lined up right like that, it is right on the edge. And I can prove that a little bit better from this angle here. If you look at this edge here, and you go straight up, it goes right through the middle of the saw. So, that's it. The way I have this built, it's going to be small units are going to have to go through there. But that should be enough to do what you need to do. This is I apologize again for my children. They're like, are you almost done? But that's kids for you, right? You get a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and they don't know how to stay quiet. Let's just put this one through. Okay. This video is probably going to be a little longer than I originally expected it to be, but we got a log jam here. Take it, put it over to the side. Take it, put it over to the side. And we got another jam going on over here. These are kind of pushing on length for this turn. So that's why I'm saying you got to do this short, because this turns tight. There it goes. And this is about as long as you're going to want to make these things. Any longer than this, and it's going to be very hard to handle getting them lined up in here, getting them all squared up. So anyway, guys, that's my modified 1-unit chop saw. Something that came out of creation due to laziness, basically. Didn't want to go all the way down to the bottom floor to plank it out, cut it up, put it in a truck, drive it all the way back up here just to stuff it in a blueprint right in here. So hopefully this helps you guys out. If you don't want to be involved in building the other one that I have down below, you can try this. And if you need help, I'll be glad to help. You can just find me in game. And I will talk to everybody again soon. Happy New Year, everybody, because for some of you, it's already New Year. For me, I got about another 6 hours to go. Probably about 4 hours to go by the time I post this video. And everybody out there, have a great evening, a safe and fun Happy New Year. And like, subscribe, comment, set your alerts. And my special guest, Mini Vinny, wants to say goodbye.
Hey guys, you don't remember me, but I used to be on my dad's channel, but they changed the rules of YouTube. You have to be 13, and I'm only 7. So please like my channels, please. I need subscribers.
All right, guys. And this is my son, Matthew. Say goodbye, Matt.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you got a kiss out of that, too. I don't know if you heard it. So anyway, guys, thanks again. Appreciate everybody watching. Like, subscribe, comment, set your alerts, and I'll see everybody next year. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.